we are taking questions. It's, could the life for a freelancer be emotional? Yeah, I mean, I think in the past it's been extremely stressful if you are in a bad relationship with a client. I mean, it becomes all you think about. I remember like one client who was just like, you wake up in the morning and you get this like refund request and you're just like, your heart sinks. You're like, why? Why do they want a refund? And you try to talk to them and they're like not like answering, and you know the system is gonna, you don't want your score to go down in the system because then it's like, oh, what happens then? Because you could lose your top ranked status, and then you don't want to have to get on the phone with Upwork and try to find someone or email someone and wait for that. It's like a terrifying feeling. So, you know, I'm happy now that I have like a lot of reviews, and if like, you know, something did happen now, I think it would be like, all right, well, you know, that happens sometimes. But, you know, early on, I think when you're super sensitive to like, you know, one or two feedback, you know, or reviews, it's quite stressful. Now that's one thing, and then obviously the other big kind of stress point is when there's no work coming in, and you don't have just the knowledge of like next couple weeks, like being like, you know, is this gonna keep going? So that's pretty scary at first too. Now, you know, you kind of develop confidence behind that, and you know, obviously savings and some cushion, which I think is a really smart idea if you're doing this. But if you kind of plan ahead and you get dialed into the loops of it, it's just kind of ebb and flow. You get, you know, just when the work starts to run down, you get an invitation, and it just keeps going. I mean, you may have to throw some fuel in the fire and start applying to a couple more jobs, and just let Upwork probably know that like you're searching, because maybe they start to push your profile. At least, you know, in my fantasy mind, this is what they're doing, right? But you got to do whatever you can, or get your mind right in the right game, that like, you know, you can find work. Like, it's out there. It's definitely abundant. I mean, if I had to, I could go to the find work area and just, you know, submit applications, like good ones, all night until I got something, right? And maybe I would, like, if I had to, you know, do whatever I had to do to like just make that deal happen. Fortunately, I haven't had to like really change from my strategy of just like normally just doing the hourly thing. But if push comes to shove, and you know, it gets super stressful. So that can be very emotional, especially when like, you know, your family relies on you, and you have bills, and you have, you know, you certainly have a continuous stream of money running out at all times, right? But you know, when it's not coming in and you're just like, oh wow, like your accounts can drain rapidly. That can be very, very emotional. But I think the more you do this stuff, it's like muscles, right? It's like working out. It's mental muscles. Like, you know, you can get past these like little peaks and valleys of working, and you just learn to adapt and go through with it. And yeah, if you keep going at it, you just keep, it's weird to do, like, but just don't quit, you know? Just keep trying to apply, because the work keeps coming. And one thing to think about, which I think is helpful sometimes, is that each proposal or work request or potential client like that you see coming down the pipe on the find work, they're all independent from each other, right? So there's no, all these clients are this, or all these clients are that, right? Every single person is completely different. And don't feel like what happened on the last call or whatever has anything to do with the next call. Don't, maybe, you know, figure out maybe something that didn't work, or like refine your pitch. But my point is, they have, the people that you talk to next have zero clue about how you didn't pitch correctly or whatever on the last call. So don't get into the mindset ever, there's no good clients on Upwork, because that, my friend, is utter crap. Like, there are all sorts of clients coming down the pipe on Upwork, small and huge, spending tens of millions of dollars, okay, as we speak, right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, okay? This is on a scale so unbelievably crazy. I don't know what else to tell you, but trust me, there's endless amounts of work. So don't just get locked up into the mindset of like, you know, oh, this is silly, or these aren't real companies, because you're just kidding yourself. You know, personally, I've had clients spend over 6 figures just, you know, for the one deal over Upwork. And I'm just a small potato guy, like, right? Like, there's major business. I don't even work with the major businesses. I just got invited to the enterprise stuff, but there's been people that have been working for years for, you know, all sorts of big companies, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, Zendesk recently. These are companies that hire so many people, it's incomprehensible, and they're just gonna be managing these entire teams through the system. You know, get into the mindset of this is out there, and try to not be emotional and just treat it like a huge opportunity that we're just beginning to see, you know, to see roll out, because a lot of these big companies just weren't even in the game earlier. So don't get discouraged, don't get too emotional. Try to always learn and adapt. And yeah, hopefully that answers that question. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.